you're glib. You don't even know what riddling is.
Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' relationship was once the center of Hollywood. From a surprise date to a quick engagement, marriage, and baby in 18 months. However, the love affair ended quickly, and many details about their relationship were kept secret. Now, 12 years later, Katie Holmes has finally revealed the secrets about her ex-husband, Tom Cruise. Is this the reason for their split? Let's continue to explore. How did their story begin and end? Follow along to find out. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes are not only different in age, but also in their careers. If you have been following cinema since the 80s, you are probably familiar with the name Tom Cruise, an actor who has had such a great influence and prominence that his reputation has extended far beyond the screen. With his handsome appearance, charming demeanor, and natural acting ability, Cruise quickly established himself as one of Hollywood's leading actors. Starting with his first role in Endless Love, Tom Cruise attracted attention and continued to develop through supporting roles in famous films such as Taps and The Outsiders. However, his real breakthrough came when he played the lead role in Risky Business, which brought him widespread fame. Cruise's star status continued to be consolidated when he participated in Top Gun, the top action film that brought his name to international fame. Throughout the 1990s, Cruise continued to challenge himself through a variety of roles, from deep films like A Few Good Men and Interview with the Vampire, to other famous works such as Mission Impossible, Jerry Maguire, and Eyes Wide Shut. Tom Cruise is one of the most successful actors in Hollywood, but Katie Holmes had a very different journey when they met. At that time, Katie was just a rising star. She started her career at the age of 17 with her first role in the movie The Ice Storm, which helped her enter the world of cinema. However, the biggest mark in Katie's career was the role of Joey Potter in the TV series Dawson's Creek. This innocent and sweet teenage girl character helped her win the hearts of a large audience and brought her fame on the small screen. Although some of the following movies, such as Disturbing Behavior and Go, did not make much of an impact, Katie Holmes is still known as one of the promising beauties of Hollywood. She built her image as a young, charming actress and a beloved new face, although she has not reached the level of the big names. Despite her early success, Katie Holmes still felt that her career path was far from reaching the level of Tom Cruise. In a July 2004 interview with 17 magazine, writer Deb Baer described Katie as young, open, and friendly when talking. At this time, Katie was loved by the public and was also going through a period of stability in her personal life. She freely shared with Deb about her career, as well as her upcoming engagement and marriage to Chris Klein. As the conversation progressed, Deb asked an unexpected question. Was Katie always the type to dream about her wedding day? Katie responded enthusiastically that yes, and that she had thought that she would marry Tom Cruise. This was just a distant dream at the time, but ironically, a few months later, Katie and Tom met, opening the door to a romantic and tumultuous story that she never expected. Katie finally proved her feelings right when she married Tom. But what did it cost her? Stay tuned for this episode. When Deb Baer met Katie Holmes again on March 9, 2005, Katie's life had changed dramatically. Just 6 days earlier, on March 3rd, she had broken up with her fiancé, Chris Klein. Shocking news that was widely reported by the media. To find out the details, Cosmo Girl magazine asked Deb to interview Katie again. However, this time Katie was no longer as relaxed and cheerful as before. When asked about the reason for the breakup, Katie was quite discreet, but later shared that Chris was not supportive enough of her career. However, what caught Deb's attention more was the moment Katie excused herself to make a phone call, saying, "I love you," to someone on the other end. Although she was not asked, Katie quickly said that she was talking to her mother, making Deb even more suspicious. Just a month later, on April 27th, all the secrets were revealed when Katie and Tom Cruise publicly appeared together in Rome. Tom came to receive the David Di Donatello Lifetime Achievement Award, and Katie walked the red carpet with him. Hollywood was stunned by the new couple, partly because of their age gap, and partly because their quick romance seemed so far-fetched. Immediately, rumors of their romance spread, with many speculating that it could be a publicity stunt for their upcoming films, Tom's War of the Worlds and Katie's Batman Begins. But whether or not their appearance was genuine love, the pairing attracted huge attention from the public and the global media. In his second public appearance since going public with his relationship, Tom Cruise surprised everyone by revealing his feelings for Katie Holmes on The Oprah Winfrey Show. He initially came to promote his upcoming film, War of the Worlds, but spent most of the time talking about Katie. Finally, in an emotional moment, Tom suddenly jumped on Oprah's chair, excitedly declaring his love for Katie. This action surprised both the audience and Oprah. The clip quickly went viral and caused a stir. Many people thought that Tom had crossed the line to prove his feelings. Comedian Seth Rogen later defended Tom, saying that he was told by Tom that the clip was edited to make him look crazy. Tom said that his actions were not as shocking as the media portrayed. However, few people believed this explanation. The couple continued to publicly show their love with romantic moments on the red carpet. According to MTV News, every time they appear, Tom and Katie seem to consider kissing as a mission so that the press can capture the best images. They even repeat the kisses to make sure the photographers don't miss the moment. There is a famous photo of Tom holding Katie in a passionate kiss, like a sailor returning from war, making sure every lens recorded it. Tom Cruise quickly changed and became comfortable showing his affection for Katie Holmes in public. At every event, he did not hesitate to express his love, and even shared with reporters that Katie was a wonderful woman. To emphasize this feeling, he once took the TV camera, shot a close-up of the smile on his face, and asked the audience if they saw happiness in his eyes when he stood next to Katie. For Katie, the relationship with Tom was like a dream come true. Katie has hinted in interviews that she wishes to work with famous directors such as Martin Scorsese and Tom's close friend Steven Spielberg. She also revealed that Tom's ex-girlfriend, actress Penelope Cruz, is one of the role models she admires. Katie does not hide her ambition to become a big star, and when she has the opportunity to enter the world of Hollywood fame, she does not hesitate to express that desire. So when Tom popped the question after just 2 months of dating, Katie was ecstatic. Tom made the big announcement at a press conference in Paris on Friday morning, with Katie by his side, proudly showing off the sparkling engagement ring on her left hand. He shared that he proposed at the top of the Eiffel Tower and that it was a wonderful day to get engaged to an amazing woman. Entertainment. Tonight reported that Tom Cruise proposed to Katie Holmes at around 12:30 a.m. after a romantic candlelit dinner at Le Jules Verne restaurant, located on the Eiffel Tower. When asked why he chose the famous Paris landmark, Tom explained that the Eiffel Tower is a symbol of romance, and Paris is a beautiful city. He went on to share the happy news of his engagement with Katie during a press conference at Le Train Bleu restaurant at Gare de Lyon, which was originally held to promote his upcoming film War of the Worlds. People magazine asked the couple if they were planning to have children, and Katie said yes, both smiling knowingly. Shortly after, in October 2005, just 3 months after their engagement, Tom and Katie announced that they were expecting their first child. The couple's spokesperson, Lee Ann DeVette, told People magazine that the couple were excited about the birth of their little angel. By April 2006, Tom had become a proud father when his daughter, Suri, was born. In an interview with ABC News, he expressed deep emotion when talking about the experience of welcoming Suri. Tom said that the moment was everything he and Katie had hoped for. A spiritual, powerful, indescribable experience, something he wanted to relive. With Katie pregnant and their marriage just beginning, the couple faced a lot of pressure. Family life as members of Scientology was not easy, and their passionate relationship was soon in the public eye. However, with the birth of baby Suri, Katie became the bride of one of the biggest movie stars in the world, and Tom seemed to have the family he had always wanted. However, things are not as simple as they seem. The reality is much more complicated, and Vanity Fair magazine has revealed the process of Katie Holmes becoming Tom Cruise's wife. A story that cannot be without the most controversial element in Tom's life: his commitment to the Church of Scientology. After his divorce from Nicole Kidman and his split from Penelope Cruz, Tom Cruise is said to have turned to the Church of Scientology to find a suitable partner. According to Vanity Fair, the church was involved in the search for an ideal wife for him, even considering famous female stars such as Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson. However, when they learned about Tom's faith, these actresses refused. Finding the perfect partner for Tom seems to be no easy challenge. By the fall of 2004, Nazanin Boniadi, a beautiful and promising Scientologist, was reportedly chosen by Scientology officials to be Tom's girlfriend. However, after only a few months of dating, the relationship quickly fell apart, and Boniadi was no longer supported by the organization. A similar situation had occurred earlier when Tom dated Penelope Cruz, indicating that things were not going well with his relationship. However, when it came to Katie Holmes, things seemed different. After church officials saw an interview with Katie in 17 magazine, they believed they had found the perfect candidate. Just 7 months later, Katie appeared by Tom's side, and from there, their relationship quickly developed. In an interview with the New York Times Style, Katie shared that she fell in love with Tom the moment she met him, and that she had admired him since she was a child. So falling in love with him was easy for her. However, it is said that the church continued to keep a watchful check on her, particularly in the early stages of their relationship, when it was said that they had sent Jessica Rodriguez, a third wheel, to act as Katie's Scientologist chaperone. During the couple's tour of European capitals in June, which was in support of their summer films, she was present for the entire tour. It is also true that she was there for Katie's interviews, during which she continued to speak on behalf of Katie, even though she was present. When Katie was asked in one interview how she felt about how the public saw her connection with the Church of Scientology, Jessica promptly shut down the subject. Katie was asked how she felt about the public impression of her relationship. She said to the person interviewing that they both avoided reading anything like that since it was impolite. The person conducting the interview, who was taken aback by her behavior, inquired about the length of time that Jessica and Katie had worked together, supposing that Jessica was Katie's boss. Jessica, on the other hand, divulged the shocking information that she was her closest friend. Upon being questioned about the length of time that they had been best friends, she was completely speechless. It was then found out that the two ladies had just been introduced to one another after a period of barely 6 weeks, which coincided with the time when Katie first met Tom. As a result of the fact that Jessica hails from a family of rich Scientologists in the Bay Area, and that she is also a member of the Sea Org, which is the most prestigious religious organization in Scientology, the allegations that Jessica was Katie's Scientologist chaperone were further strengthened. Katie announced that she had converted to Scientology just a few days after she had given the interviewer the information that she was not a Scientologist. Because Jessica was there when she made her announcement during her interview a few days earlier, the audience had a range of emotions when they heard the news of her conversion. Katie, on the other hand, was ecstatic. She stated that she found Scientology to be quite fascinating, and in addition to that, she was also receiving spiritual counseling and doing some Scientology classes. The idea that she could be a Scientologist and a Catholic at the same time was something that she admitted to having a positive attitude on. When she was questioned about the claims that Tom and Jessica had put pressure on her to join the church, she categorically denied the allegations, stating that Tom would never do something like that. Following that, she went on to characterize him as the most affectionate, caring, kind, and intelligent man she had ever met. He would never put somebody under any kind of pressure to do anything, according to her. Her time spent with Tom was both a source of joy and a luxury for her. This resulted in the couple getting married on November 18, 2006, which took place there. Their wedding was a lavish event that took place in Italy, in a castle that was built in the Middle Ages, and it featured displays of fireworks that gave the impression that it had been plucked straight from a fairy tale. When designer Giorgio Armani was seated inside the armory that had been transformed from the 15th century at Italy's Grand Odescalchi Castle, he said that the wedding was stunning, particularly the moment when he watched Katie come down the aisle, wearing the romantic off-the-shoulder gown that he had designed. Famous people such as Jennifer Lopez, Mark Anthony, Brooke Shields, Chris Henshey, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, and Jim Carrey, and Jenny McCarthy were among those who were invited to attend the wedding. A 20-minute double-ring Scientology ceremony was also incorporated into their marriage before it was finalized. Along with vows to love, honor, and cherish one another, they also made a typical Scientology wedding commitment. Additionally, they vowed to never close their eyes in sleep while they were displeased or disagreed with one another. Members of the Church of Scientology were also there, including the leader of the organization, David Miscavige, who was Tom's best friend and best man, as well as his daughter Isabella and son Connor, and then Nancy Blaylock, who was his sister, and the matron of honor, who was also present. Following the conclusion of the wedding ceremony, the guests made their way to the reception that was held in the grand hall of the Caesars of the castle. This was when the real celebration started. Beginning with toasts from the best man and the matron of honor, the event got underway. In the following moment, the bride joined her father on the dance floor to the tune of "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong. Following the ceremony, the newlyweds chose to celebrate the beginning of a new phase of their relationship by dancing to the song "Songbird" by Fleetwood Mac. The situation for Tom and Katie was beginning to appear bleak, and as time went on, things became even worse, and the couple's situation continued to deteriorate at an alarming rate. Challenges in Paradise. The new chapter began to turn sour in 2010 when various stories began to appear suggesting that there may be flaws in the couple's flawless relationship. This was although the couple had initially shown promise. In the same year, Katie gave an interview to Marie Claire in which she discussed the topic openly and honestly. She stated that her life with Tom was incredible and that she was fortunate to be living her life since she was his wife. However, her life was not at all remarkable. It was not unexpected that she was 2 years closer to divorcing Tom at the time of this comment because the strange things had always been there. In truth, she was 2 years closer to getting a divorce. Aside from the suspicions that circulated about the beginning of their relationship being associated with Scientology, there were other indicators that Katie did not appear to notice, and the first one occurred 7 months before the birth of their child. During the Most Fascinating People of 2005 special, Tom disclosed to Barbara Walters that he had recently purchased sonogram equipment, which he intended to give to a hospital once they had finished using it. When he made his announcement, the entire globe was taken aback since sonograms were not often used in homes at the time, and it was not a typical component of any pregnancy to perform ultrasounds or sonograms if they were performed at home. Even more, eyebrows were raised as a result of his affiliation with Scientology, as some questioned whether or not this was a ritual that the members of the religion were required to do. Even the medical professionals were not exactly enthusiastic about Tom's home ultrasound, expressing their worries that the fetus would be subjected to a higher level of sound waves than what is suggested through the ultrasound. A warning was sent to Tom by the Food and Drug Administration, which concurred with Tom's assessment that the private use of a sonogram violates the law. Additionally, Leah Remini, a former member of Scientology, wrote a memoir in which she discussed her experience as a guest at a wedding, particularly a peculiar occurrence that she experienced there. The biography is essentially a scathing critique of her time spent with Scientology. I walked into the bathroom and saw 3 women, including Tom's sister and his assistant, who were supposedly Suri's caretakers, looking at baby Suri, who was lying on the tile floor, she disclosed. They were supposedly looking at Suri. She was unable to comprehend what was taking place, and she was taken aback when she heard the women yelling Suri's name in a tone that sounded as if they were advising an adult to get her act straight. In addition, there is a peculiar coincidence that has occurred in each of Tom's 3 marriages, and that is the fact that all of his women were exactly 33 years old when they ended their marriages. According to Perez Hilton, the significance of such a number resides in the fact that the Hubbard Association of Scientologists was established in Phoenix, Arizona, which is located on the 33rd parallel. In 2012, when Katie reached 33 years old, everyone, except for Tom, anticipated that she would soon be divorced. Katie had engaged 3 legal firms in 3 separate locations, and she felt that she was able to keep everything a secret by having discussions with her attorneys using a burner phone that was supplied to her by a close friend. This information was provided by a person who was familiar with the divorce scenario. The most stunning aspect of the entire disclosure was the fact that there was a prenuptial agreement in place, and that Katie's father, who is a lawyer, was the one who drafted it. Numerous publications speculated on the particulars of the deal, although it was not disclosed to the general public. Vanity Fair said that it satisfied the requirements of 5 bankers' boxes. According to the Mirror, Holmes successfully negotiated a value of slightly more than $50 million for herself and Suri. The deal did not result in Katie receiving any form of lump sum payment, according to TMZ, which said that individuals acquainted with paperwork that was submitted to the court told them that this was the case. As an alternative, it was stated that Katie was going to get a child support payment of $400,000 per year, in addition to being compensated for all of Suri's expenditures, which included medical, dental, and insurance charges, as well as educational, college, and extracurricular fees. Regardless of the circumstances, the prenuptial agreement sped up the process of settling, and the negotiations took place in just 11 days. Some people believe that Katie's father was aware that the marriage would not last, and as a result, he offered terms that were so agreeable that Tom would easily let his daughter walk away, while at the same time ensuring that his then unborn granddaughter would be cared for. This was done to avoid the possibility of a contentious and drawn-out divorce battle. These were merely rumors, but his forethought made it possible for them to have a divorce that went off without a hitch, which is something that has never happened in the history of Hollywood. Their prenuptial agreement did not allow for any conversations over alimony or child support, nor did it allow for any public declarations or disagreements to arise. Katie's attorney stated on her behalf, indicating that the issues surrounding her divorce were a matter of personal and private concern for Katie and her family. Furthermore, she indicated that Katie's major concern was for the best interests of her daughter, Suri. On the other side, Tom's agent stated that Tom was profoundly devastated by Katie's decision to file for divorce and that he was focusing his attention on his 3 children. Additionally, he requested that the public respect the privacy of the former marriage. The relationship between Tom and Katie has been marked by highs and lows, as well as downright awful periods. But what are the two of them doing these days? What is the current situation of affairs? Although they kept it a secret during their divorce, there were hints of their connection that were revealed to the public 5 years later when Katie and Jamie Foxx provided a subtle confirmation of their relationship. There were reports that the couple had previously been together for 4 years before they decided to make their relationship public. It was no accident that they were only released shortly after the 5th anniversary of Katie and Tom's notorious divorce. According to TMZ, Tom had made Katie sign a legally binding document that forbade her from publicly talking about their marriage or relationship for 5 years. In 2016, an anonymous source informed Radar Online that Katie had permission to date, but she couldn't do it in public. Suri, their daughter, was also not to be seen by any boyfriends. Reportedly, Katie obtained $3,800,000 for herself and $3,600,000 in child support after consenting to this provision. She supposedly has been following this rule since her divorce, keeping her relationship with Oscar winner Jamie Foxx under wraps since they started dating in August 2013 after performing together at a New York charity dinner. Nonetheless, it was at a football event 7 years ago when Tom introduced them. His friendship with Tom, whom he had met on the set of Collateral, was ironic. According to U.S. insiders, Katie wore a wig and hat to a rendezvous with Jamie at a hotel to keep their connection under wraps. Jamie encouraged her wish to keep their relationship under wraps by consistently denying the reports that they were an item. When Katie was seen at Jamie's surprise birthday party at Le Bilboquet in New York in 2015, insiders said that she was deeply in love with Jamie, and the curtain was almost pulled back from their secret relationship. A snapshot of the two of them holding hands in a recording studio appeared to confirm their connection, but Jamie said they were only pals. Since their divorce, she and Tom have seldom communicated with one another, and they have been quite private about their separation. People say you don't truly know yourself until you're in your 40s, and Katie, who is 41 years old, told InStyle in a mysterious note that she feels more experienced today. She went on to explain that her life experiences had shown her the value of expressing yourself emotionally and intellectually. Another thing she said was that from now on, she would listen to herself more rather than relying on other people. To many, it seemed as though she was alluding to her marriage to Tom. She reiterated to InStyle that she relocated to New York City following her divorce. Because she was the center of attention, and there was a small child around, her motion was intense, she said. What helped her get through it, strangely enough, were the nice people who lent her a hand with Suri in weird situations. An incident in which a kind stranger saved the day came to mind as she thought back on it. According to her, Suri was around 6 or 7 years old when it occurred, while Katie was in Lincoln Center seeing a ballet performance at a friend's house. Katie wasted no time in racing to pick up Suri after receiving a call from her at 10 o'clock, requesting her to do so. Since Suri was so sleepy from the journey, the cab driver kindly unlocked the door and assisted Katie in carrying Suri into her home to keep her from waking up. And through it all, Tom remained elusive. His supposed disappearance from Suri's life has been the subject of persistent speculations ever since their divorce. Once the buzz of the town, the father-daughter combination has been pictured apart for more than 10 years. Tom has been AWOL from Suri's life for quite some time, according to a March article. He has also failed to attend her high school graduation and the college application process. A source close to Tom told the Daily Mail that since his unexpected 2012 divorce, he has been completely absent from Suri's life. But Bauer Media accused Tom of abandoning his daughter, so Tom sued them for defamation in 2013. He refused to confirm or deny the rumor that Katie had abandoned him to shield Suri from Scientology when pressed about the matter. However, he did concede that Suri and Katie, her mother, had ceased to be Scientologists. But he was adamant that shielding his daughter from his faith was unnecessary. The suspicions regarding Tom's estrangement from his daughter were already rampant before this confession, but Scientology labels non-believers as oppressive and pushes other family members to distance themselves from them. Because of the enormous gulf that Katie's decision to leave the church and the marriage created, Tom and Suri's bond has become distant over the years. According to an informant, Tom hasn't seen his daughter in years, and he also doesn't have any involvement in Suri's life. Even though Suri has arrived at a turning point in her life, getting into college, Tom will not be able to assist Suri in making her college choice. He is no longer obligated to pay Katie $400,000 in child support each year, but, according to their divorce papers, he will cover her college expenses now that Suri is 18. Tom has committed to covering all of Suri's fees, according to the papers. This includes her health care, dental care, insurance, schooling, and extracurricular activities. Tom, according to the person who spoke with DailyMail.com, has always paid his bills for Katie and Suri, but he supposedly won't be involved with his daughter's activities. Thankfully, Katie Holmes has never left her daughter's side, being her only caregiver from the time she was a little girl. An informant revealed that Katie has been actively supporting her daughter Suri's college applications, which she has been sending to several institutions around the nation. Because of their strong relationship, Suri would to remain in New York and be near her mother. As a result, she is considering settling into a life in Manhattan as a fashion designer. But what do you think? Did Katie and Tom's happy family dissolve because of the influence of Scientology? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you, and see you in the next videos.